All right, so for our warming practice, we're all seated, so let's just do something before we get seated. Take your hands together and just rub them. And this can just be a great reminder of how much heat and energy we can create in our body. And this, I don't know, I think about rubbing two sticks together. If you ever doubted that it could, there could be enough friction to create a fire, rubbing your hands together and observing the heat and the energy might squelch any doubts. And then just pause and notice, have your hands slightly far apart, and just notice maybe some tingling, maybe some heat. And then slowly, 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 so that you can't even observe the movement, move your hands away from each other until you can't feel that sort of heat and energy between the two hands. And then this also is a great practice in just focusing the mind, connecting the mind to observe what the body is doing. When you get to that point where you begin to feel that separation between the two hands, pause, and then slowly begin to draw them back towards each other. So we've kind of created this little energy ball. And just take another breath. And then we're going to rotate the palms towards us. And then slowly bring the hands towards the face. You'll slowly bring them, eventually letting the heel of your palms rest in the eye sockets. Now, as you're doing this, relax the shoulders, a gentle reminder to keep the back of the shoulders on your back and sliding down. And hopefully there's still enough heat in the palm of your hands that they don't feel cold as you place them on the sockets of your eyes. And just take a couple of breaths here. Now notice the temperature as you breathe in through the nose and as you breathe out. And you may be able to observe that warming capability of the body. It brings in a cold breath or a cold air. It warms it up and then releases it back out. And as the air comes in, it's bringing oxygen to fuel your cells. This mindful breathing is also helping to relax the nervous system. All right, just one more round of breath. And then you can slowly release the hands from the eyes. And then in your own time, we're going to slowly, meditatively, maybe with your eyes closed, transition onto our backs. And you'll want to have a block and a strap within reach. So you may need to open your eyes to peek and find those. We'll start off with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. having the palms face down, pressing on the floor, root down through your feet. Allow the hips to come just a quarter of an inch from the ground, and then lengthen the tailbone. Press into the feet a little bit more and let the hips rise. Not coming into a back bend yet because we're probably not warm. So we're just warming up the thighs and the hamstrings, the front of the hips, and then slowly let the hips go down. We're just going to flow with the breath. Inhale, root into the feet, the hips rise. And then exhale, release the hips back down. Now you can add the arms, reaching the arms overhead. And then as the hips lower, the arms lower. And just be mindful of how this feels in the shoulders. If you've got a shoulder injury, you could do this with one arm. You could skip the arm motion. Just a nice gentle way to warm up the hips. Warm up the shoulders. And as you're rooting down, notice where the weight is on the feet. So really pressing in evenly to the feet. And notice if the flexibility begins to increase in the body. Maybe the hips rise up a little bit higher. Maybe you can feel the thighs, the quads, the hips, the glutes getting a little bit warmer, get a little more stretchy. And in the cold weather, you really want to be mindful about listening to the body and not pushing it before it's warm. All right, next time, hips and hands are on the ground. Pause here. Draw the right leg in, clasp behind the thigh, and just begin to straighten the leg, flex the foot, and then bend it. So you inhale, you're stretching the hamstring all the way to the arch of the foot. Now, we've talked before about how the feet, they're the foundation of our posture. And it's important to warm up the feet before we stand on them. And you may find that on cold mornings, when you get up in the morning, the feet are stiff. And you have to sort of gingerly introduce them to the day, especially if you have really cold floors. Now, notice as you do this, if you're flexing the foot, can you feel that stretch on the calf? Again, the calf muscles, after the heart, they're the second most important muscle for circulating the blood throughout the body. So we want to have nice, supple calves, because the blood flow is what's bringing the energy. It's what's bringing the heat. All right, just one more round. Pause with the leg extended. Press the back of the leg into the hands into the leg. Keep that right hip rooted into the mat. And then cross the right ankle over the left, creating a figure four. And gently let that right hand press into the right thigh. And have that right thigh resist. And enjoy a few breaths here. Inviting that external rotation in the hip. We'll be using that in some of our warrior two poses. And release that. Lower that right leg to the ground. And just take a moment. Notice if there's a difference in the two legs. When you're ready, you draw the left leg in, you clasp behind the thigh, and you begin that motion. And I've mentioned that it's particularly cold here in New Hampshire. It's particularly cold in this room in my house. And so doing this, I notice a dramatic difference in the right and left. the right leg being warm and supple. There's a difference I can feel in the temperature of the leg. And I find that, not only is it just kind of fun to observe the after effects, but again, it's connecting the mind and the body and developing an appreciation or a stronger appreciation for the wonders of the body and what it can do with your health. All right, remember to flex that foot, feel that stretch in the calf. And you might notice the two legs are quite different. And again, you might notice that when you started this movement, maybe there wasn't as much extension. So maybe the knee didn't get all the way straight. But as the synovial fluid in the knee joint gets warmed up and the muscles get warm, then our range of motion increases. Next time the leg's straight, just pause here, a little pressing of the back of the leg into the hands, and the hands pressing into the leg. And you're breathing. All right, let's let that left ankle cross the right. You've got your figure 4. The right hand just gently presses the left thigh away. And again, we've got this resistance. The leg is resisting. And then release that. Lower the feet to the mat. Right leg comes in again. Extend the left leg long. Nice stretch for the front of the hip. Now you can pause here. And if you're looking for a more chill, not cold, but chill practice, you stay right here. If you're looking for more heat, you can float that left leg off the ground, maybe 3 or 4 inches. A little more heat. Press the right leg away so that it pulls you up, pulls the shoulders off the ground. Little bit more core. Release the arms and just reach them forward. Draw the belly button back to your spine. Remember to breathe. Now, you don't have to keep going on this road trip. You just stop where the scenery looks nice. And then release down. Hug that right leg in and just make some gentle rocking here. So we're kind of massaging out the back glute and just sort of teasing the spine into a little bit of rotation, not going all the way yet. Again, it's cold. We don't want to start twisting before the body's warm. Come back to center, draw the left leg in, and let's make some circles with the knees. And those hips, I'm going to get some of the synovial fluid going. Reverse direction. And you might notice we were talking a little bit a little bit in the beginning before the recording about pelvic tilts and the spine going from arching to flattening or extension. Just notice what's going on in the hips and the pelvis so not only are we, warming up the hip sockets, but you've also got the lower back getting a nice little warm up. And then pause. Hug the left leg in and extend the right. Again, you're welcome to stay here. Float the right leg up if you want to continue this road trip. Maybe let the shoulders come up. Maybe press the left leg away. Release the arms. Breathe. There's a tendency to hold the breath here. Make sure this feels okay in the lower back and the neck. You can always take the hands behind the head if this was a little too much in the neck. And then release down. Hug the knee and gently let it flow from side to side. Pause in the center, hug the right knee in to meet the left, and make some circles with the knees together. Nice little warm up for the spine here. Let's reverse direction. All right, nice. Now grab your block or a ball or a pillow. It's going in between the knees. Shins are 90 degrees from the thighs. And see if you can bring the knees right over the hips. See how this feels on the lower back. You want to keep about an index finger's amount of space in the lower back. There is a tendency when the knees go forward that arch gets a little too deep. So draw the belly button in. Think about hugging the knees around this block. Arms come out. Press into the palms. Let the knees come towards the left. Knees stay stacked, so they're not going to go all the way down. Now, the bottom knee presses into the block and brings the knees up through center and then over to the other side. Bottom knee presses up and you flow from side to side. Nice and slow, trying to resist the temptation to tap into momentum. And breathe. And just one more time each side. You'll pause in the center. Maybe extend the legs up if that feels okay. Hands come behind the head. So you're making a little cradle. And let's start with the elbows wide. Now you can bend your knees at any point in time if you like. On your inhale, lift up the shoulders and the head just about an inch. Squeeze the block. Lift again. Squeeze. Lift. Lower to starting point. Just two more of those. Lift. Squeeze. Lift. Lower to starting point. Lift. Squeeze. Lift. Lower all the way down. Release that. Block comes to the side. You can hug the knees in. Maybe take a couple of rocks. That's a nice way to get the blood flowing, get circulation going. And then pause. Nice. All right, let's come to table. You're on hands and knees. Fingers are spread wide. And if you can turn your toes under, you're turning your toes under so you can stretch the arches of the feet. And let's do a couple of cat and cows. You round the spine and then you arch. We want to make sure the spine is nice and warm here today. Pause in the neutral spine. Now let's get the side body. Inhale, nice, lengthen the spine. Exhale, look to your left. We're going to flow side to side. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Just continue this at your own pace. One more time each side. And pause in the center. Let's extend the left leg back. And if you can turn the toes under, we're pressing back and then releasing. All right, fingers are spread wide. Take a look. You want to direct the weight to be more on the thumb and index side of your hands. Belly button draws back. Shoulders slide away from the ears. And then you pause. Hips are level. Float the left leg off the ground. Maybe extend the right. Now you can stay right here. Or add on, draw elbow and knee towards each other. And then extend away 2 more times. After the third one, pause. Lower the right hand down. Take the left leg over to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Back to the center. Right leg extends. Begin warming up that calf. A gentle reminder, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Like feel the bottom tips of the shoulder blades drawing towards each other. And then you pause. Option to lift the leg. Option to extend the left arm. Option to bring elbow and knee towards each other. We'll look 3 times. Lower the left hand. Take the right leg over to the left. And breathe into the right side of the body. Back to center. And toes curl under. Either stretch back to a child's pose or a downward dog. And invite little micro movements. Walk your hands back to your feet. Slight bend in the knees, relax the head, the neck. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Passively allowing the backs of the legs to lengthen. If this bothers the lower back, hands come onto the hips. And just like seaweed, allowing the body to sway. Let the sways find space. And then hands come onto the hips, engage the core as you rise up. And pause. You're at the back of your mat. Imagine the breath traveling up the front of the body and then down the back. Inhale, rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Inhale into a chair pose, Utkatasana. Couple breaths, invite to the heat here. And then inhale, rise, gentle back bend. 2 more. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Inhale, chair pose. Utkatasana. Next breath in, rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Inhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise, gentle back bend. Pause here. Flip the left palm up to the ceiling, grab the wrist and stretch to the right. Inhale through center, switch palms and stretch in the other direction. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release. Just roll out the shoulders here. Allow them to just kind of drape down the back of the body. And release that action. You get a little bit of heat. We're going to do some of the Hara breaths. Start by I'll do just the legs first. You'll step the right foot forward with a hop, step it back. Left foot forward, step it back. Add the arms and a hop. Inhale, hop, 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 hop. One more each side. Ha, ha. Make our way to the front of your space. And we'll take a warrior one sequence. All right, we're just checking. How's everybody doing? All right, getting a little warmer?
Yeah.
Take the front of your space. Take a deep breath in, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold back. Press into the legs, nice long spine. On your exhale, step the left leg back, and let's drop the knee down. You can, and you can come into this any other way. And just begin to straighten the front leg and then bend it. This is a great place for blocks. Lengthening and bending. Now, you're welcome to keep the knee on the ground or lift it up. You'll notice you get rather different effects. One's not better than the other. All right, so we've warmed up the side body, we've warmed up the spine. I think we might be ready for a twist. So pause with the knee bent. Again, the back knee can be up or down. Take that left hand to the inside of the right and inhale, twist. Exhale, come back to center. Hands are on the blocks. Now this might take a couple of steps to get to the front of your mat. You're going to bring the back foot up to meet the front. Notice any difference in the two legs. And then inhale, rise. Gentle back bend. Exhale, fold. Press into the leg, nice long spine. Step the right leg back. Let's start with the knee down. And then flow. You're welcome to lift the back leg up. Feel different muscles activating. Front knee bends. Right hand to the inside. Inhale, twist. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, the back of the foot comes up to meet the front. And inhale, you rise, gentle back. On your exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Left leg steps back for warrior one. Let's start with the hands on the hips. And your warrior might be a little shorter. The body's still cold. Straighten the front knee and then bend it. Add the arms and flow. Breathing in and out through the nose. Inviting that breath that comes in. You're warming up that breath, letting it flow throughout the body. Bringing heat and warmth and energy. And then pause, knee bent, arms up. Flip the left palm, grab it and stretch right. Inhale back to the center. Release the hands apart. And step the back foot up to meet the front. When you're ready, deep breath in, gentle back bend. Exhale halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Step the right leg back for warrior one. Straighten the front knee and then bend it. Arms rise up and you flow with your breath. Nice. Pause with the knee bent, arms up. Lift the right palm up, grab the wrist, stretch to the left. Inhale back to the center, release the hands. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Right into the next one, we'll add on. Inhale, reach up, stretch, gentle back. Exhale, fold half. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Step the left leg back, warrior one. 3 times, flow in and out. All right, when we tap into our core, that can stoke the fire. Pause. And then the option to dive the torso down to the inside of the right leg, engage the core, rise up through the feet. So again, you could do the first variation or add the core. Make sure this is feeling okay on the lower back, the shoulder and the feet. Make sure it feels all right everywhere. And then pause where you are. So if you're doing the variation where you're using the torso, pause here for a moment. Invite that heat in the core. Be mindful of the neck, gazes to the floor. And then inhale, you rise. Pause in your warrior one. Imagine a beach ball that you could drape your spine over. Shoulder blades draw down the back of the body. The front knee is bent, and you're rooting down through that right big toe. And release the back bend. Step forward. Inhale, rise. Gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs. Nice long spine. Right leg steps back, warrior one. Blow with your breath 3 times. Pause. And then decide if you want to take the torso to the inside or continue with the first flow. Go around and then we're going to hold. You're doing the torso flow, gazes to the floor, neck is long, shoulders draw away from the ears, core is engaged. And then inhale, you rise, warrior 2. That left knee stays bent, pressing into the big toe mind, and then you begin to drape your spine over that imaginary beach ball. Inhale, you rise. And then step the back foot up to meet the front. Inhale, rise. Gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. This time, step back to warrior 2. The left leg steps back. Get our legs aligned first, straightening the front knee, and then bending it. Wrists cross, and the shoulders are facing towards the long end of the mat. Inhale, reach up, nice good morning stretch. Extend the arms out. Flip the palms up, and you flow in and out. We're doing this, we're warming up the muscles, we're warming up the joints here. Muscles, many muscles can move in different directions, so we just want to warm them up to this direction before we land in a longer hold. All right, pause in your warrior 2. Flip the front palm and reverse. Inhale through warrior 2. Let the hands come to the hips. Spin the back heel in, so we've got sort of that goddess stance. And then allow the hips to sink. Allow a little flexion in the hips here. Arms relax, shoulders relax. Root into the heels, and then inhale, you rise. Exhale, maybe the hands come to the ground, engage the core, and inhale, you rise. 2 more, just like that. Core is engaged to protect the lower back. Squeeze the glutes when you come to the top. Pause next time you're upright. Extend the arms out. Hands come to the hips. You heel toe the feet together. Take a little hop turn and make your way to the front of your space. Take that on the other side. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back for warrior 2. Straighten the front knee. And then wrists cross. Reach up. Extend out. Just visualize the shoulders on the back of the body. Just draping down. Float the palms up. Notice how the shoulders might relax a little bit more. And you flow in and out of this. And you might find that As you're warming up, you don't go as deep. And then the muscles in the joints warm up, and maybe you sink down a little bit deeper. Pause. Reverse your warrior. And then you rise up. Hands come to the hips. That goddess pose again. Sink the hips down. Watch the knees where the knees are tracking. Let the arms relax. You get sort of like little cupped arms or maybe 2 pieces of seaweed here. Root down into the heels. Inhale, rise. Exhale, imagine you're gathering something. This is going to require a little bit more core. So if you're feeling this in the lower back, then don't reach down. Protect our lower back here. Just one more. We're going to pause. Bend the knees, goalpost arms, and then a round of 30 Kapalabhati breaths if you like. That's an inhale and then 30 fast pumping exhales where you're pumping the belly. Something like this. And heel till the feet together. Once again, up turn to the front and take a little walk. All right. So I'm going to just check in. How's everybody doing? How's the energy?
Good.
Are we still up for flowing?
Yeah.
Mezza. All right, so we'll do, I was thinking we'll do a little flow that you can adjust that will be more core. It'll be sort of those hanging planks. And is everyone okay with pigeon here?
Yeah.
Either pigeon traditional or on your back. So you can skip the hanging planks if that's something that the wrists or just your energy level isn't jiving with today. Right, so front of your mat. Inhale, reach out, gentle back. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into your legs, nice long spine. Step back to table. Take your time. Spread the palms. Press back to downward dog. And this is a nice opportunity to stretch out those calves, pedaling out the legs. And then you pause. The right leg lifts. And then open up the hip. So I'm not bending the knee yet. Just roll that right hip on top of the left. And then bend the knee. Notice you'll be able to go a little bit further. Keep pressing into the right hand though, so you don't twist and rotate at the shoulders. We want this rotation coming from the hip. And then level off that right hip. Inhale, the knee comes in towards the torso. Now you could drop that bottom knee and then extend it back. Right knee, a left elbow. Extend it back. Right knee, right elbow. Extend it back. Right knee to the center. Press into the hands. Press back through that left heel. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. And then lower it. Again, take the time here. Ease into this slowly. A little bit of rhythmic movement where you kind of go into the pose, back off a little bit. It's like a map. You're showing the body the map of where it's going so it can relax and lengthen and work with you. And then I invite you to just take any variation of pigeon that you'd like. Into transition out of your pigeon pose. Some downward dog to invite some counter stretches and movements here. And the left leg lifts, keeping it straight. Open up the hip, just roll that hip open. Keep pressing into the left hand so the shoulder stays level. And you can bend the knee and just notice what that gets you. And level off the hip. And they'll bring that knee to the center of the chest. And bring it to the right elbow. Extend it back. Left. Extend it back. Back to the center. Pause for a moment. Press out through that right heel. And release into the pigeon when you're ready. And back to downward dog in your own time. Oh, hurry here. When you're ready, just lower the knees down. You're in your table pose. So lower the forearms into a Sphinx pose. Let the weight just flow from side to side. And you're welcome to stay here. We're going to take a variation of forearm plank. Knees can be up or down. And make your 5. Or when your body tells you it's enough. We'll come all the way down, setting up for Shalabhasana. Start with the arms along the sides, forehead to the mat, legs close together. Well, your hips are your new feet. So invite the hip bones to root into the mat. And then let the legs be light. So the more you press into the hip bones, let the legs get so light that they float off of the mat. And now keep pressing and extending away from the hip socket. Have the knees straight. So think about long length through the legs. And then maybe you lift the head, shoulders, maybe arms off the mat. When you're ready, release down. Crocodile pose. The hands make a pillow for the forehead. And the legs flow side to side. Release that action. Come into Sphinx pose. Stay here for another round of forearm plank. You're ready, release down and set up for Shalabhasana. When you're ready, let's start this time with the upper body. So head comes up, shoulders come up, maybe arms come up. And then maybe you lift the legs. Release. And windshield wiper the leg. Roll out the forehead. Release that. Make your way up to table. And then press back to a child's pose. Walk the hands to the left. And length on the right side of the body. Walk through center and then to the right. And come back to center. And make your way onto your backs. You can have your thigh within reach, have whatever you're going to want for Shavasana within reach. A few of the thigh final twists. Final Shavasana. Just take a couple of breaths lying on your back. Allow your body to receive the signal that it's time to integrate. Draw the right leg in and place the thigh. Just in front of the heels, extend it up long. Extend the left leg. Tie in the right hand. Let that tie in the left hand. Let that right leg come across the body. Your spinal twist. And just notice any adjustments you could make in order to receive what this pose has to offer. So that doesn't necessarily mean deeper. Just using your observations and your intuition. Sometimes it's nice to slide a block underneath that right leg. It doesn't make it deeper. It actually allows you to relax some of those outer hip flexor muscles a little bit more. So this practice of observing and using your intuition, just guessing, is a great way to strengthen that connection between your mind and your body. When you're ready, no hurry, but you come back to the center. Rebend the knee, remove the tie. Just give that leg a little hug. This is a great pose for the lower back. Breathing into the lower belly, watch it rise. As you exhale, let everything go. And the next breath, you can bring the left knee in and lower the right foot to the floor. As you strap up that left leg. Extend the right leg long. And the tie's in the right hand as you take that left leg across the body. And scan your body. Tap into your intuition. What adjustments your body would like. And bring that leg back up. Give it a little hug. Breath. Extend that right leg long. Check in and notice if there are any final poses that your body would benefit from that would allow you to integrate and receive all the benefits from your practice today. Next breath to be a little longer and a little deeper. You can invite gentle movements. Allowing your head to go from side to side. You wiggling fingers or toes. When you're ready, slowly transition to your side. Enjoy a pause. A moment of gratitude to your body. Make your way up to seated when you're ready. If you'd like to join me in a chant of Om, take a deep breath in.
Mm.
Namaste.
Yes, sir.
You guys for joining.